Welcome, friends. Welcome back to the kitchen. Welcome back to another episode of Cooking by the Seat of My Pants. I've got the smoker going outside. I bought a bunch of pork belly. Smoker's going outside. I'm smoking some pork belly. I thought I'd do some smoked beans to go with it. And I saved a little bit of pork belly to put in the beans. I don't have a recipe for this. I mean, I've got recipes for this. I've probably got 4 or 5 recipes if you go back on the channel for baked beans. Several of them even for baked beans on the smoker. But what I mean by no recipe today, I didn't start with any sort of, I didn't start with a list of ingredients. I just sort of looked in the kitchen and said, here's a bunch of stuff I'm going to put in a pot. We're going to make baked beans. I'm going to put it on the smoker. We'll see what happens. It's going to be great. Now, I know a lot of barbecued baked beans start out with cans of barbecued baked beans to begin with. Usually Bush's is what I see most often. I'm just starting with cans of beans. So I've got a couple cans of navy beans and a can of pinto beans. So beans in the pot. If you start out with dry beans and soak and cook your own, good on you. Next in, a couple of onions, chopped up, diced. I've got a hot yellow pepper, banana pepper, and a poblano pepper. In that goes. If you're around here often enough, you know that I always say, cook to please yourself. Think of flavors that you like. Think of things that you've eaten in restaurants. And you've said, oh, I really like that flavor in this combination. And then just bring it home and make it up on your own. Don't worry too much about it. As long as you're choosing flavors that you know you like, it's probably going to come together really well. So, salt and pepper to taste. You can always fix the salt later. If you don't put enough in, you can always add some later. Don't put in too much right at the beginning. Now we come to flavoring. So I started out with just regular canned beans. No flavor in the canned beans. Now I'm going to build the sauce around it. Personally, I find a lot of barbecued baked beans to be far too sweet. Starting out with a can of already sweet baked beans and then adding 2 cups of brown sugar and commercially available barbecue sauce and all of that sort of thing is too sweet for me. I'm still going to add sweetness to this. I'm still going to add some sugars to this, definitely. I just like to pull back on the sweetness a little bit and have it a little more savory. My personal taste, yours may be different, so adjust accordingly. I've got about 1.5 cups of chicken stock. That could have been beef stock, pork stock, vegetable stock. Could have been plain old water, could have been beer, could have been wine. Really the liquid, again, choose something that you like. I've added tomato paste to that. Next in, this is our homemade barbecue sauce. So about 1/4 cup. There'll be a link below to us making this. If I remember, if I don't, it's on our channel. Just search for it. Barbecue sauce. This is our Worcester sauce or Worcester-like sauce. This adds an incredibly great flavor. So I'm going to take maybe 1.5 tablespoons, throw that in. Just give that a bit of a stir. Try and bring it together a little bit. You don't have to do this in a separate jug. I could have done all of this mixture inside the pot. I just wanted to make sure I got it mixed together really well before I put it onto the smoker because I don't want to be lifting the lid on the smoker while it's cooking and stirring this until it's pretty much almost done. Now this, if you were here a little while ago and watched us make candied jalapenos, pickled candied jalapenos, love those things. This was the leftover mixture that pickles it in the jar. So in this is sugar, vinegar. The jalapenos were boiled in this, so it's got a sweet, spicy, and a little bit of sour all mixed together. It's pretty well balanced. It is hot. I'm going to put, I don't know, maybe a tablespoon of that in here as well. That'll just give it a little bit of zing. If you don't have this hanging out in your fridge, which, you know, why would you? You'd be fine just to use some hot sauce. Or if you've got some candied pickled jalapenos, just pour a little bit in of the juice from the jar. That would work perfectly. Now, for sweetness, I was thinking molasses or sorghum molasses. So cane molasses or sorghum molasses. And I decided on maple syrup. So I'm going to glug in a little bit of maple syrup. About that much. Okay. Pour in the liquid. And just give that a stir to combine. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Ah. The sauce is really tasty, and I can get, even though I only put in a little bit of the leftover sauce from the candied pickled jalapenos, I really get that flavor, big flavor. Okay, pork belly. This is just 50-50 salt and pepper. And I'm going to coat the outside of this. Okay, got a little rack here. Pork belly goes on top of the rack, and out we go to the smoker. Okay, the smoker's running at about 250 degrees Fahrenheit. Dog is hungry. So I've got some pork belly on here already. Beans are going to go on. This is going to go for probably 2.5 hours before I even bother to look at it. Okay. Smells wonderful. Now, I'm going to take this piece of pork belly off of here. And we're going to slice it up. Just cutting it roughly into cubes. You could really chop it up, shred it right up if you wanted to. That's good. That is so good. Okay, now we're going to mix that into the beans.
Well, I can smell that. He's got clearly, beans.
Beans, pork and beans. Barbecue baked beans, smoker baked beans.
Hi, friends.
Pork belly, smoker baked beans.
Is that chicken?
No, it's pork belly.
That's pork belly. You said
So-
that.
so I
Sorry,
s-
it was white. It was white in color. It's clearly the.
So I smoked the pork belly on a rack above the beans. They dripped into the beans, chopped it up, and threw it in at the end. Right when I took it off, I was at the point where I could have added a little more liquid. It was kind of at that point, and I probably should have added just a little more liquid even then. But yeah, yeah.
Got a bit of tang in it. What do you got in there?
Onion, poblano pepper, the last banana pepper left over from pizza night. A little bit of chicken stock, tomato paste, maple syrup. What else did I put in? Oh,
It's like everyone who keeps the secret ingredient secret, right? Oh yeah,
the stuff left over from making the candied jalapenos.
that's the tang.
That's it.
Okay, yeah.
That's it.
It's like he'd give you the recipe. He wouldn't tell you that, and then you're like, why is it Mike doesn't taste anything like Glenn's, right? Uh-huh.
That's what you need. So you're going to have to find the cowboy candy video, make the cowboy candy, reserve a little bit of the liquid
Just for this
just
occasion.
to make these beans. These are really good. Okay.
I'm surprised the pork belly is really soft.
Yeah.
Like, really soft.
I literally went through the pantry, pulled out some things, said this will all go together, threw it in a pot, put it on the smoker. It's that easy.
That's pretty
It
impressive.
really is that easy. So don't be afraid to make some changes. Don't be afraid to think outside of,
The pot?
The pot. Exactly. And, you know, there are multitudes of ways to do this. If you find a bunch of flavors that you think are going to go together, when you put it in the pot, it more than likely will. You can do it. It's really that easy. Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon. Thank you very much for making it to the end of the video. We really appreciate that you've made it all the way to the end. If you would like to help us grow this channel or even maintain this channel, please subscribe, like, comment, even give us a thumbs down. That's fine. All of those things work to trigger the algorithm to help this channel grow. And today I'm wearing one of the new black ones, the new aprons. Links down below. Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon.